All right, so there you go. The religion that Brian was talking about, trial attorney Kelly Hyman is standing by, listening along with us. I wanted to get that from the judge himself as we bring Kelly in to tell us what she makes of what we just heard. So as Brian said, it was dramatic before the jury was called back in, and now the jury gets called back in, and here's from the judge in his own words. What'd you make of that?
It was a powerful statement. So defense asked for a mistrial. And what exactly a mistrial means is to stop the trial itself. So what would happen if the judge granted the mistrial, the trial would be completely end, and the prosecution would basically have to start from scratch to retry the case. That would mean a completely new jury itself. However, the judge decided what to do is a curative instruction. And so what that means is rather than grant the mistrial, go explain it to the jury that they are not supposed to listen to anything about the religion, that it's not part of the case as well, to try and cure it. But it's also important to remember that if in fact the defendant is found guilty of the charges, then you could definitely see defense counsel raising this issue up on appeal about the curative instructions, that it wasn't sufficient and the judge should have granted the mistrial.
Right, as Brian said, he thought for a moment maybe he would. I mean, this, to use this term, is a no-no, right? Bringing up like mortal sin, talking religion in the courtroom like this. I mean, this could have really been what did in the prosecution in this case.
From a prejudicial standpoint, from the defense standpoint, absolutely. This is highly prejudicial because the jury's not supposed to consider religion. And we have to look up at the makeup of the surrounding areas, and there are about 40% of that community is in fact Catholic. So it's really hard once you hear that to disregard it. Now, hopefully the jury will listen to what the judge said and not, when they deliberate, not use that as a factor, that religion and also the fact that it being a mortal sin. All
right, no mistrial. Let me play one clip from earlier. This is Dr. Mack on the stand again, and this question that's been there throughout about whether Lindsay Clancy was in a state of psychosis when she killed her 3 children. We've had all the back and forth about the medications, whether the system failed her, and all that kind of thing. But this was the testimony earlier I want to ask you about. Take a listen.
If there is a way to determine that it's a major depressive episode or a manic episode or a hypomanic episode, that will help to determine if this severe mood condition is bipolar or major depressive disorder. It's important to understand what others have observed and what they're concerned about, and then as a physician, one will make one's own diagnosis.
And so in this case, you came to the conclusion that the defendant presented with a major depressive episode, right?
Correct.
As opposed to a episode of psychosis. So that's a rebuttal witness for the prosecution. So it's a battle of the experts right now. Kelly, how do you see things?
As you stated, a battle of the experts. So the jury has to listen to the evidence and weigh which expert they believe is more credible. Now, it's important to remember this case centers on criminal responsibility and also as to Clancy's state of mind at the time of the killing itself. Now, from the defense standpoint, they're saying that the insanity defense. However, the prosecution says that she knew right from wrong, that she knew exactly what she was doing. I think it's interesting to note in Massachusetts that the defendant doesn't have the burden to prove, in fact, that she was criminally responsible. In fact, it is the prosecution. So the prosecution has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that she should be held criminally responsible because she, in fact, wasn't insane at the time of the killing.
All right, jury dismissed for the day. No mistrial. That's the breaking news of the hour. We'll see what happens. Kelly Hyman, thanks for the analysis. We'll stay on the story as it breaks. Brian's got a special tonight, so much more to come on Lindsay Clancy.